I objected to hearsay. The court ruled that I had opened the door and allowed him to elicit that hearsay evidence.
All right, folks, pause here. This is classic courtroom strategy. Opening the door basically means the defense accidentally let the other side bring evidence that would normally be barred. Watch closely. This little slip can totally shift the momentum of a case.
In fairness, you're skipping the first step. You opened the door and crossed to this topic.
I just said that.
Right,
that
but I want to be clear.
Okay.
It's not just an allegation that you did. You did.
Okay.
Then Mr. Bloodworth went into it.
Okay, absolutely. I was trying to convey that. I'm sorry if I didn't do it correctly. I was not trying to skip any step. You ruled that I had opened the door. You allowed him to elicit what would typically be hearsay evidence because I had opened the door. Now it's in. Now this witness is sat on the stand. No one's ever told him that Eric used illicit drugs, and that is not true.
Illicit street drugs. Please be precise.
That's what these are. He's claiming...
Well, we don't know one way or the other. Would you like an opportunity to voir dire Cody Wright about that, consistent with the court's motion in limine ruling from January?
I'm happy to voir dire him if it helps the court with your ruling. It is my position that at this point, I'm entitled to impeach him for making a statement in response to the state, elicited by the state, that no one's ever told him Eric used illicit street drugs. Here I have testimony that is contrary to that. I have a right to impeach him on that.
Boom! This is the classic impeachment setup. The lawyer is trying to show that the witness contradicted earlier testimony. It's high stakes because credibility is everything in court. Jury watching? Take note. This is where doubts start creeping in.
I'll voir dire him on whatever you want, but it is my motion now that I be allowed to go into this because the state has put it there. They've put it out there. I have a right to impeach that he just testified falsely and inconsistently with what he said at the prelim. And it's very important, Your Honor.
If he, in fact, said something impeachable, you have the right to impeach him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm not sure that he did yet. Why don't we get to that point? Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, certainly we can voir dire him. I think if the court reads further down in the preliminary hearing transcript, counsel asks...
You know I don't have that ability, so if you could cite me to it.
Oh, do you not have... I'm sorry.
No. I don't have control over what they're showing me.
I can email it.
If there's a docket entry you want me to look at, I know that it's in the docket.
Sure, it's page 61 that I thought was on your screen. It's on my screen.
So
It is now, yeah.
So at the bottom of page 60, I guess we just read from the middle of page 60.
60, line 15 through 25.
Correct. If
Yeah.
the court keeps reading to the top of page 61, Cody Wright says he has no idea what Red Devils were.
He says prior to that he is very aware that Eric took pain pills in high school. He says that clear as day.
Here's the juicy part. Naming specifics like Red Devils can make or break an argument. But without clear context, the court demands a foundation. This is where lawyers get creative, and the tension builds because the jury is now hanging on every term.
Why don't we just ask him what he knows?
We can, but
Oh, you don't want that. You want to just use this.
I want to use this, and I want to do it in front of the jury. I
But
don't
you
want to
want
give a
to, you don't want to
chance.
just put it in. You want to ask him questions about it, right?
No, I just want to. I want to impeach him with this document only.
You don't
That's
have
it.
any foundation that Red Devils are illicit street drugs, though. So you need that foundation
Pain
for
pills
this.
would be.
But that's not illicit street drugs, and that wasn't the question. This is an important difference. Nobody's asked this gentleman
Your Honor,
or shown that
If you buy pain pills,
please
I'm
don't
sorry.
speak
I'm
over
sorry.
me
I'm
so
sorry.
that you have a clean record.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
If there is an impeachable statement by this witness as to whether he's aware that Eric Richins took pain pills at any point in his life, this would be directly relevant to that. But we need a non-speculative foundation for the idea that Red Devils are illicit street drugs.
So the pain pills that they're talking about, if they are
Who's they?
taken, if that is being referred to in this prior statement, the
Red
pain
devils.
pills that, well, he says pain pills, and then he says red devils.
Okay.
So my understanding, according to this, is that Mr. Wright doesn't know what red devils are, but that's what they called them in high school.
Seems accurate.
Here's a subtle but crucial distinction. Taking prescription pain pills without authorization is legally different from street drugs. The lawyers are sparring over semantics, but the jury is learning. Legality isn't always intuitive, and the line can be razor thin.
Which is clearly saying these were not doctor prescribed, these are illicit drugs that he's using in high school. So
No, there's some distance between a nickname called Red Devils and illicit street drugs. And I don't know what the Red Devils he's referring to are, but it doesn't automatically mean they're illicit street drugs.
if you use pain pills without a prescription, that is illicit street drugs.
It is not. And you know that to be true.
I disagree, Your Honor.
It might be diversion of a prescribed substance, but it's not illicit street drugs.
They've certainly heard testimony from Mr. Crozier that he's selling oxycodone on the street that came from prescriptions. That's illicit street drugs.
I'm not sure you want to take that position going forward, but I don't.
And there it is, a classic courtroom pause. Everyone's scrambling for the official transcript. Tempers are simmering, and the tension is palpable. This is a kind of behind-the-scenes chaos the public rarely sees, but it can completely influence how testimony is interpreted.
Endorse it in any respect. Certainly, we know that diversion of prescribed legal medication is different than purchasing on the street prescription medication is different than purchasing non-FDA approved substances on the street. There is a range of conduct here, and the question asked by Mr. Bloodworth was specific.
Can we read back? Can we get it read back, what he asked? Do we have the transcript of the exact statement that Mr. Bloodworth just asked him?
State courts do not create transcripts.
I think we have someone doing it live right now.
When you say we, who are you referring to?
Ms. Payer,
She's not a court employee. I don't know what you're referring to.
if you can give me 5 minutes, I can email her and get the exact statement.
Sure. While that occurs, I'm going to use the restroom. We'll take a recess until 10:35.